Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So, finishes Aston Villa 3, Newcastle 0. I mean, we were absolutely terrible today. I mean, completely overrunning the midfield. It was so easy, the goals that they scored. I mean, my dad pointed out in the preview Ollie Watkins, and he was brilliant today as well. It was just far too easy and not really what we are expect as Newcastle fans after having such a fantastic season. But you're not really going to win them all, are you? But just, what are your thoughts? Because it was...
Oh, so frustrated. I mean, we were second best all game. Let's think about the first goal. Ollie Watkins does a fantastic header. He gets a push in the back from Kieran Trippier. And what was the player's called who scored again? I'm trying to think his name.
Watkins.
No, this first goal.
Jacob Ramsey.
Jacob Ramsey, yeah. He arrives late into the box and Murphy just isn't aware of him and he lets him go by and he scores. But Howe has to make a change early on in the game.
That's what I said. He's got to make... I thought he was going to make a change at half-time. So I was really surprised when he didn't. But as well as we've done this season, you know, you've got to give Eddie Howe some criticism. As much as I like him. To be honest, I think he's got the team selection wrong. I would have started Longstaff. I know he's slow, but I think he's better defensively. Bruno was poor today. Gave the ball away for me. Gordon was pretty poor as well. I mean, he's fast, but he gave the ball away far too much, Gordon. Joe Linton wasn't great. I mean, Botman again, he hasn't been very good the last couple of games.
Botman needs to work on. Watkins got in behind him, and Botman is so slow to react, and he can't twist or turn quickly, and he needs to work on. I've called it out before in videos. He is
player, but
very good.
He does have his weaknesses, and who has Dan Burn was poor again today. He got completely outclassed. I mean, to be honest with you, I would have started Target because I think Dan Burn needs a rest. I love Dan Burn, he's a fantastic player, but I think teams will always look at him and identify him as a weakness because Villa always kept playing a long ball over the top and they just couldn't get there. I mean, in the first minute of the game, they played a long ball over the top to Watkins. It was so easy, and I think Botman was going to get there, and he hits the post, and I thought, my God.
Yeah, that was nearly scaring again. It showed Botman's lack of mobility and his agility. And
so disappointing.
Howe needed to react earlier in the first half because they were creating an overload in midfield, and our midfielders were thinking, do I go to the wing and mark someone, or do I go to the ball? And when they were going to the ball, they weren't even getting close to it, and then the ball was played out wide to someone who had acres of space because they had an overload.
They were passing the ball really quickly, stretching our midfield, and we just couldn't keep up with them. Fair play to Villa, to be honest, because they deserved the win. I mean, they could have scored 4 or 5 in the first half where... I think it was in the first half where we were at our worst, to be honest, because just constant Villa. It was
the thing is they wanted it more, didn't they? But one thing I've got to say is that Villa players, when they were getting hands on them or anything, they were flinging themselves to the floor, which was shocking.
That is a problem in the league as well. I mean, you've got to sort that out. I would be giving them yellow cards for that because they're just falling down for nothing, and Villa are also wasting time a lot in the game, but we can't really use that as an excuse because we're absolutely
we've
terrible.
Been consistently good all season and we'll sing praises. So it's not often we have to come on and criticise Newcastle.
We've only lost 3, so there's still positives to take, but it's just a really frustrating result because it puts a lot of pressure on us now because we've got Tottenham next, and my
tough
God,
game.
what a game it is. But I mean, I think we can go and beat Tottenham on their day because it depends what Tottenham turns up, because sometimes Tottenham, they're very inconsistent, you know. Sometimes they'll just turn up and play fantastic, and sometimes they play terrible. So just honestly today, it's
so frustrating.
Very disappointing.
For me, what frustrates me...
Sorry for interrupting, but I think as well, Bruno, he sort of draws players to him, but he sort of he takes too long on the ball for me. He needs to pass it a bit quicker.
Yeah.
I think he takes a bit too long as well. And I also want to talk about their left back, Alex Moreno.
He was really impressive.
Every single time he was going down the wing with ease, and I thought Eddie Howe would have said at half time, go and mark him, because every time no one was marking him at all. So again, that's another thing with Howe. I don't really want to sound too critical here, but I'm just
I think what was really important in football is a player, an individual player. You maybe he's only going to have the ball for anywhere between 3 and 4 minutes in the game. So it's vital that your movement off the ball when you have it is really good. And today we were really poor. And Aston Villa's movement off the ball when they didn't have it was better, so that when the player on the ball had it, they had space and time because they were creating overloads.
Yeah.
And Howe didn't react until the 55th minute, I think, was when he made his first substitution.
He should have brought players on at half time. I mean, I remember I said I think he'll take off Dan Burn and bring on Target, and he did. And I mean, what about Gordon? Because he always shows signs of quality.
Yes.
But then he sort of, I don't know, I think we might have been done over there by Everton, because I just think it's not really going well for him at the minute, is it?
It's for me. What is a concern for me is that Howe didn't change it in the first half. We could have been 2 or 3-0 down in the first half, and fortunately we were only 1-0 down.
I don't know what Howe was saying, but we were so lucky to only be 1-0 in the first half. They could have had 3 or 4, so I would have made changes because we were so lucky, and he didn't make changes.
For me, it was changes to the formation. They seemed to have extra
that.
space and time on the ball in midfield, and it wasn't addressed. And fortunately, they hit the bar and they missed a couple of chances. Watkins could have scored early doors. So frustrating.
I think Eddie Howe's been tactically outclassed by Unai.
Today it looks that way.
Just the way we were set up just was completely wrong. And again, like I'm saying before, I don't want to sound too critical, because that's only our 3rd loss, but just very disappointing. And obviously it puts more pressure on us for top 4, because it's changing all the time, and would hope that Bournemouth will hopefully get something against Tottenham, because
it's a big ask.
If Tottenham beat Bournemouth and then they beat us, then plus Man United have still got to play Forest tomorrow as well. But you've just got to give the criticism to Howe, and please just get your comments in down below, because we just want to know all of your opinions to this game. What do you think? Do you think Howe's got the tactics wrong? Who would you have brought on? Because for me, he should have brought on substitutions at half time. It really surprised us when he didn't, because we, like we said, like you said, we were so lucky to be only just 1-0 at half time. And then, I mean, for the second goal, again, it was so easy. It was like a training session for Villa,
wasn't it? The way they moved the ball quickly.
Watkins was fantastic today, to be fair for him. To be fair to him, and he just turns, and Pope can't really do anything about it, can he?
I mean, I called it out in our preview video. I said Watkins, I thought he would score, and I think he's a really good player, and we didn't cope well with him today. But Villa's movement off the ball was better. They were passing it quicker than us. They were just far. They wanted it more, and it's not often
to be
we
honest,
can say that.
I did expect
Newcastle.
Villa to play well, but I also expected Newcastle to match them. I mean, I said 2-1 to Newcastle, and I thought it'll probably be a draw, but I didn't really sort of expect that. And I know that Villa probably wanted it more, but I do think tiredness does come into play.
I think, it's not often we concede 3 goals. Newcastle, we've got a fantastic defensive record this year. We're second best. We've got to learn from this. We've got to move on and get prepared for the Tottenham game.
Hopefully a lesson for Howe. Now, I just want to ask you, what changes would you make for that Tottenham game? Yeah,
it's difficult. I mean, Miggy might come back in. He came on.
Shall I tell you what? I'm going to tell you what I would make, guys. So I would play Target and rest Dan Burn, because I think he looks really tired against Villa, and I would just play. Target.
Do you think Longstaff needs to come back in?
Longstaff definitely needs to come back in as well. I also think I would drop Gordon and play Almiron. We've sort of haven't really touched on Isaac today, but I thought Isaac was all right. I mean,
he did okay.
He had some chances.
When he brought Wilson on, he moved Isaac in behind him, and that seemed to help a little bit. But we deserve to be beaten today. We can't argue with that. Yeah,
because we were like just shouting at the TV, like just close him down. There was far too much space for Villa, and I just think, like you say, the way we were set up, our formation just allowed Villa to really sort of excel, and I just think.
But to be honest, obviously we're still on holiday here in Tenerife, and it was great to see it was full of Newcastle fans in the bar.
Fantastic bar.
Great bar, YOLOs, and there was no Aston Villa fans in, so Geordies everywhere. Here we go. But really, it was a nice venue. Just shame we couldn't get the result.
What was more frustrating was Villa players just diving around. It's embarrassing. It's getting worse and worse in the league. I mean, I know Newcastle, sometimes people are saying, we waste time as well, but that was terrible by Aston Villa. I mean, the players just hardly touching them and going down.
Flinging them, jumping, diving on. Buendia was shocking. Buendia, he was diving to the floor.
I suppose you could say it's a positive sort of, because it shows how far Newcastle have come, that teams are wasting, because teams wouldn't usually waste time against Newcastle, but what a game that's going to be against Tottenham.
Yeah, we've got to regroup and
got to try and get the 3 points. It depends what Tottenham turns up really, but I think we definitely still can get top 4. But fair play to Villa, because we can't use bad refereeing and time wasting as excuses, because we were terrible. And I was speaking to my granddad, and he said he would drop Botman, and to be honest, I wouldn't drop Botman.
No, I wouldn't. I
wouldn't. That's a bit harsh, because every player's gonna have a bad spell of games, and I know he hasn't been great recently, but I'd rather play him over Lascelles. But to be honest, every player a day wasn't great. I can't really say who our best player was. Probably Isaac.
Possibly,
the sort of chances he created. Pope was all right as well. I thought there was a couple of times where he could have caught the ball, but I mean...
frustrating, but we need to move on and focus on the Tottenham game. But thanks for watching.
Thank you,
frustrating, not often we've had to do this.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Frustrating. Hopefully Newcastle can come back out and pick up the 3 points against Tottenham. Make sure to subscribe as always. We're trying to push to 500 subscribers before the end of this month. Always feel free to get your comments in.
Get them in.
I want to see you guys comment about this game, because it's a very interesting